You don't overspend because you're reckless. You overspend because, deep within your subconscious, you've been conditioned to believe that money doesn't stay with people like you, but it disappears as quickly as it arrives. That security is an illusion meant for others. That no matter how much you earn, it will never be enough. These beliefs are obvious. They don't scream at you. They whisper in your everyday decisions. When you underprice your services, when you impulse spend after a hard day, when you feel guilty after depositing a big payment, when your stomach clenches at the sight of a bill even when there's money in the account to pay it. Welcome to Money Mindset Makeover. Episode 1, Scarcity isn't a budgeting problem, it's a belief system. In this episode, we're not just adding financial literacy to your toolkit. We're opening the vault of your subconscious conditioning to see what has been running the show without your permission. Because let's be honest, if money were purely about logic, we'd all be rich. You wouldn't need 10 budgeting apps and 3 side hustles, you just follow the numbers. But money isn't just math. It's emotion, identity, safety, power. It's the echo of a parent saying, we can't afford that, or you better marry someone rich. It's watching arguments over bills as a child and deciding that money is the root of stress. It's the resignation of growing up in a community where wealth felt like fiction and debt felt like destiny. Let's rewind. Long before you opened a checking account or took your first job, your financial story was already being written. Psychologists call this financial imprinting. When the brain, especially before age 7, absorbs emotional patterns around money. Not just what's said, but how it's said. The tension in the room when rent was due. The pride on someone's face when they paid off a car loan. The guilt they felt for treating themselves. Your nervous system internalized those emotional patterns and began crafting a belief system. Over time, these beliefs hardened into scripts. Scripts like, money doesn't grow on trees. I'm just not good with numbers, it's selfish to want more. People like us hustle. People like them inherit. And here's the twist, these scripts often conflict with our goals. You might consciously want wealth, but if your body associates money with danger, guilt, or social rejection, you'll unconsciously sabotage it. You'll make just enough to survive, but never enough to relax. You'll attract opportunity and push it away. You'll raise your rates, then discount them before anyone asks. This isn't stupidity, it's survival. Your mind is designed to protect your identity, not your bank account. And if your identity is wired around scarcity, anything that threatens that wiring, even abundance, will be repelled. Let's pause and look at the cultural layer. Scarcity isn't just personal, it's generational, systemic, and inherited. If you're the first in your family to build wealth, you're carrying invisible weight. You're breaking patterns without a blueprint. Your nervous system might be allergic to ease because generations before you never had it. That's real, but it's not permanent. The first step is awareness. When you start noticing your money behaviors without judgment, you activate choice. So today, notice. When do you tighten around spending? When do you feel shame receiving? What stories surface when you think about investing, asking for more, or building long-term wealth? Write them down. Uncensor yourself. These are not weaknesses, they are windows into your belief system. And beliefs can be rewritten. Let's go deeper. Because scarcity isn't always loud, it doesn't just show up as, I'm broke. Sometimes it wears the mask of hyper-control, constantly refreshing your banking app, overanalyzing every dollar, saving aggressively but feeling no peace, or stacking cash and still lying awake at night asking, will it be enough? These behaviors are not you being cautious, they're you trying to control what you were once powerless over. And control is a trauma response. It's your nervous system saying, if I just track hard enough, maybe I'll finally feel safe. Now let's flip the lens. Have you ever undercharged? Stayed quiet in negotiations? Given away your time, your skills, your energy just to avoid discomfort? That too is scarcity. Not a numbers problem necessarily, but a self-worth problem. Let me introduce you to Theo. Theo was brilliant and freelanced in UX design and was booked solid. But he always charged 30% less than competitors, and when asked why, he said, I don't want to be greedy. Translation. Somewhere inside, Theo believed that asking for what he was worth risked rejection, risked being judged, risked losing the gig and his safety. So he kept himself small, underpaid, and resentful. That's not bad business. That's subconscious conditioning. It goes deeper. Sometimes scarcity hides inside performance. The hustle, the grind, the over-delivering. Marisol was a creative entrepreneur who hit 6 figures in her second year. But she couldn't stop reinvesting it all. She wouldn't pay herself. Every win was met with fear. Fear that she'd lose it all. Her nervous system was hooked on survival, not sustainability. She didn't feel safe holding success. And here's what they don't tell you. The hardest thing to do isn't building income, it's feeling safe with wealth once you have it. Because abundance isn't just a number. It's a nervous system capacity when you can expand. So pause, take a breath. I want you to comment right now, what's one behavior you've noticed in yourself that might actually be scarcity in disguise? Share it. Let someone else see themselves in your story. And if this is resonating hard, hit that subscribe button. Because what's coming next isn't just strategy. It's a belief reset at the identity level. Now let's build your wealth operating system. Step 1. Journal your origin story. Ask yourself, what were the earliest messages I heard about money? Not just the quotes, remember the energy, the fear, the silence, the shame. That's where the root lives. Step 2. Interrupt the loop. Every time you catch a belief like, it'll never be enough or I can't afford that, say aloud, that was the old script. I'm installing a new one. Use your voice. That vibration matters. Step 3. Reinstall a belief, not a fluffy affirmation, a grounded one. Something like, I am safe with more. It is my responsibility to thrive. Money expands my ability to do good. Say it daily. Say it when it feels fake. That's when it's working. Repetition is not optional. It's the language of the subconscious. And here's the bonus round. Anchor it somatically. Place your hand on your chest or stomach while you speak it. Train your body to feel safe with expansion. If you want massive external change, start small and consistent on the inside. Now real talk. The world is loud about scarcity. The media profits off your fear. The economy rewards insecurity, but your inner economy? That's yours to rebuild. When you begin to see your own patterns, you regain choice. You stop outsourcing your financial worth to the market. You stop waiting for permission. You begin truly to design your relationship with money from the inside out. So if this is starting to shift something in you, here's what I want. Drop a comment below and finish the sentence. My old money belief was blank, and I'm replacing it with blank. Let's see the rewiring in real time. And make sure you subscribe, because episode 3 of this series gets even deeper. We're mapping your wealth identity and turning your nervous system into your greatest asset. Now let's zoom out and address what most financial advice misses. Not everyone starts from the same foundation. For many, scarcity isn't imagined, it's inherited, systemic, or even enforced by the structures around them. So while we rewrite internal scripts, we must acknowledge the external ones too. If you grew up in a household where eviction notices were real, food stamps were normal, or emergencies had no financial cushion, your body doesn't see money through the lens of logic, it sees it through survival. That's why telling someone to just budget better can feel insulting, even triggering. Financial trauma is real. It leaves fingerprints on your behavior long after your situation improves. You might have 10 times the income now, but if you've never felt safe with it, your actions will reflect fear, not abundance. So let's integrate this truth. Rewriting your money story does not erase your past. It honors it by breaking the cycle. You're not just learning for yourself, you're learning for every version of you who didn't have access, understanding, or agency. This is legacy work. Now let's put a name to the patterns. Your money identity is the default mode your nervous system runs when dealing with money. There are 4 primary archetypes. The saver who finds security in accumulation but often struggles with guilt when spending. The spender who connects money to freedom and expression but may struggle with consistency. The avoider who disconnects completely to reduce anxiety, often letting others take financial control or letting money decisions pile up. And the investor who sees money as a tool but may ignore emotional ties altogether. Most people have a dominant type with overlaps. In episode 2, we'll explore each in depth and teach you how to work with your nature instead of against it. Because no identity is wrong, it just needs awareness, healing, and alignment. And before we wrap up, let's envision a future version of you. The version who no longer flinches when checking an account balance. Who spends without guilt, saves without hoarding, earns without apology, and who holds abundance without fearing it'll slip away. That version of you is real. They're not better, they're simply more integrated, more aligned, more safe in their own power. And the only thing standing between that version and the current one is belief. So tonight, before bed, close your eyes and speak this. I no longer manage scarcity. I embody security. I trust myself with more. I trust life to support my expansion. And I give myself full permission to thrive. This is the beginning. This is not about toxic positivity. It's not about faking wealth to manifest it. This is about honoring your history while choosing your future. And if this episode cracks something open for you, if it felt like truth dressed in words you didn't know you needed, then share it. Comment below with your money identity guess. Subscribe so you don't miss the deep dive in episode 2. And if you've made it to this point, you're already doing the work. You're already becoming the kind of person who doesn't chase wealth. They attract it by being in alignment with it. You're not broken. You're not behind, you're just rewiring. And that is the most powerful financial move you'll ever make. Thanks for watching the official FinFlix. See you in the next video.